This is Dr. Khan. Today we're going to talk about the pathway to treat Alzheimer's disease and why finding a medication or more than one medication has been so elusive. Perhaps you've heard in the news that some of the GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic were in trials to treat Alzheimer's. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't helpful. A new study conducted using liraglutide or one of the semaglutides did not show a positive benefit. We had hoped that it would show dramatic results, but in a study a year long with people with mild to moderate disease, there didn't show much improvement. So what does this really mean? Let's fit this in a bigger picture. Well, first of all, we need these negative studies to be published so that it can help us find the correct path. So I commend the researchers. Early lab results don't always translate into real improvements in brain health. When we look at animal models and at cell models, sometimes things look effective, like liraglutide, it seemed to be protective. But when we test hundreds of people, it didn't significantly change key brain metabolism measurements. There were small cognitive hints that were there, but it wasn't enough to be significant. So, this has happened before with other drugs. And so why would that be? Well, timing matters. Just like many trials, Alzheimer's trials are conducted after people already have significant symptoms. But these brain diseases have developed for years and sometimes decades before the symptoms showed. So by the time the disease was treated, perhaps it was too advanced for a single targeted drug to move the needle. Many trials are negative because the researchers, they didn't start therapy early enough, right? But then that's really elusive because if you can't diagnose early, you can't treat early. And they also look at just one pathway to treatment. So good science builds on knowledge. Even failed studies are helpful because they help show us which way to go. So what was good about the study is it showed that this drug was safe and well tolerated in people without diabetes, which is useful science in itself, and it helps grow the evidence. It helps researchers refine and find new ways to treat people, rather than giving up. So real progress, it's complex and it takes time. Breakthroughs in brain disease, they aren't usually overnight. It takes a lot of iterations for good things to come out. If we had better early detection when the disease wasn't as advanced, then many of us think it would be easier to find a treatment. Also, we need to match the biology to the treatment. There are many different types of dementia, and we need new ways to actually measure benefit. So the next time a study doesn't show a cure, just remember it's part of the pathway forward, not proof that progress has stopped. So I've attached the reference article for anybody that wants to look, and we're going to talk about why studies often fail in phase 3 in the next video in this series.